Hi everybody, this is a requested video talking about feet and arms working more fluidly together. If you have had the opportunity to come into a class where I've done a PowerPoint before, you understand that there's lots of different schools where ballet comes from. You have the original French and then into Italian and into Russian. There's some weird combinations between the two. So depending on what school or style of teaching your previous teachers have had before, things might look a little different. I'm RAD and I have a little bit of Cicchetti as well, which is an Italian. He's one of the Italian forefathers of really important things in ballet. So there's a little bit of mix of that for me. So if you got trained differently or have seen things differently, it could just mean a completely different school. It's not wrong, it's just different. So we're gonna start with our feet in our first position. I'm not going to be mirroring you for this. This is my left hand and this is my right, so I'll look a little bit opposite of you, just so you know for this purpose of this video. You have your bar arm. Remember, we always start with our left hand on the bar because that will have the right leg exercising first. You want to make sure that that arm is nice and low and relaxed. You're reaching in front of you if possible because we don't want to get chicken wing into our back. So we're reaching in front, that hand is nice and relaxed. Our right arm is in our en bas position, shoulders are pressing down, 10-pound weights dripping off, elbows are forward and hands are held in our ballet position. As we bend our legs in our demi plie, we're going to let the arm bend as well. Well, the arm extends, but it bends with us and it comes back. So think about this like an exhale. When you exhale and go down, I always talk about your toes rooting into the earth, right? When we go down, the lower body extends and the upper body floats. There's always that opposition in ballet. So as I go down with my legs, my arm extends from the elbow and it gathers as my legs come back into that same position. So where I'm releasing is I'm releasing from the elbow. If I'm here a little bit closer in my en bas position, you can see my elbow releasing to my wrist, to my fingers, and then I reverse that, bringing my fingers in last. So it'll go elbow, wrist, and then the elbow starts the pull back in and the fingers will finish out. So there's a slight ripple. You don't want it to be too much, right? The over exaggeration can start getting into the shoulder. The less that we exaggerate, the more it stays in the elbow and the wrist. It's a very gentle motion, right? So just take 4 demi plies going out and in. Take a demi, 1, stretch, tall, squeeze, demi, out. Stretch, tall, squeeze, in, heels stay down, toes stay down, squeeze up, tall. 1 more demi. Stretch, tall. Good. So, in continuation, right, sometimes you'll have 2 demis and then you'll move on, or 4 demis, etc. So when you're progressing through the Potr de Bras, especially because you might be moving on to something else like we do, you have your demi out and then it comes back in. Now the arm on the second demi will travel up to first position. I peek inside, just tilting my eyes down, not my chin, but my eyes are tilted. And I stretch. So this is something depending on the school, right? Some folks go out and come in, right? Other folks stay, come up and out, okay? So for our purposes, just take the arm out, now bring it up to first, okay? While you stretch, 2 options. Your arm can stay in first, or it travels out to second position, because 95% of the time when you're here, you're taking a grand. So your arm will travel down with that grand plie, which we haven't done. But basically grand just means big, so it's a chance for the heels to come off the ground. The grand plie is not necessary. That's just telling you what happens next. For our purposes, we just need the arm to go out, come back into the en bas on the demi, bring it up to first. You can travel it out, but now travel it back down to your en bas. Take a demi, arm goes out and up, take it into first, stretch it tall, open, float it down, take a demi out, 1, stretch it up, 2, take a demi, look into the hand, 3, travel it out, 4. So you can see as I straighten, my arm still moves, and then it's got to travel back down so it can meet up for that demi. And tall, demi, tall, float it down, demi, and tall. And you'll see, now I'm just coming from the elbow here. My elbow rotates, so now my elbow is still forward, and then I come to my second position. Remember, we've talked about reaching our fingers on a diagonal. My shoulder is the highest point and my finger is the lowest. The palm turns and it comes back down. Make sure you try that on the opposite side. So with the opposite side, if I were to hang on over here, the demi goes out, it comes up tall, I come into first, I slightly peek, I open and I come down, demi, release the elbow, bring the fingers back, demi, carry it up, present, open, carry it down, demi, release the elbow, fingers gather, demi, see the inside of your palm with your eyes but not your chin, and float it down. Take the last one, demi, bring it up tall, demi, carry it. Right, so that's demi. That's just a plie. That's very basic, and you can use that arm movement in our plie series. So that would look like a demi and a releve, a demi and a releve, right? And then we stay for our second releve. So then that's where I take my arm off and I stay in first position. And when I lower my heels, I get back on the bar, and as my arm goes down, as my heels go down, my arm travels out, just as if it would if you were going down. So let's see that again. The demi, the arm travels out, it comes up with us on the releve. As my heels go down, my arm travels to get ready for the second demi. It stays in first position for our combination because we stay here and we balance for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. I get back on the bar for 5, 6, my arm travels, and then I go into a transition, 7, 8. So when I'm in the middle of that transition, I'm here, I've decided to end my balance, I get my hand on the bar and I lower my heels, and my arm and the heels operate at the same time. My arm is in second position. As I tendu my right foot, my arm has to come down to get ready to repeat, even though my feet are in second. My arms have stayed the same. And I stay. 3, 2, 1. I grab the bar, I open and I lower my heels. And then same thing, the arm stays in second, I cross and I put that foot to fifth so that way I'm ready to come back down again. It's very important that your shoulders stay down the whole time because the weight creeps up into it and then our alignment can start to hunch. Right? So it's really about working from your wings all the way connected back here and out through your elbow.